Moving on, like we said, we have an industry veteran, an industry thought leader, Amitek. He's the co-founder and CEO of ET Media Labs, one of the most respected digital marketing agencies in the country today. They've made a strong name for themselves, and we requested Amitek to share his views on what does he feel is happening in India from a consumption point of view. So, welcome, Amitek. What I'll do is, why don't you, sort of give your introduction and then we'll start the chat.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Gaurav. I think these insights are really important for us to understand. Some of the insights are still being maintained from the last couple of years, and some of them are new. And here, like I'm quickly introducing myself. Like I'm working with this company, I think for the last 11 years. So I have started my journey as a digital marketing manager only, and now I'm leading a team of around 150 people, training them, working with a lot of clients. I personally have actually worked with 300 plus clients in the different sectors. Fashion and consumer brands becomes the most majority ones actually, along with the service industry, educations, and all these ones. And yes, I think we have in the last 10 years, we have seen a lot of shifts in the digital marketing ecosystem. And yeah, happy to share my insights on like how you can actually plan the upcoming festivals. I think festival has already started, but yeah, how you can actually go safely in this in this current month and in the next 1 to 2 months actually, which can help you grow your business. So yeah, happy to add my insights.
And that is some inspiration for a lot of us, right? Starting journey 11 years back as a digital marketeer and going on to leading such a large team with such a big impact. I think there is a lot to learn on the diversity of advertisers also you work with. 300 is a very, very big number. So thank you for taking our time coming to this panel.
But
I'll I'll ask my first sort of thought starter, Amitek, right? What do you think is India's expenditure story today? In your opinion, when you're talking to brands, what is it that they are hearing from their own consumer reports? What, in your experience, has changed since the past few years? What do you think is sort of the financial vibrance during this 50-day long festive?
like Gaurav, you mentioned, I think in the earlier slides, one is we are following the trend that in this festival time, clothing category is going, like apparel category is going to be the dominant one. Like people are actually going to spend majority, like more than 37% is going to spend on clothing, followed by, let's say it's mobile phones, and then home improvement or home decor sections, two-wheelers. You mentioned about electric bikes becoming very important and trend now. Along with these things, I would like to share a couple of insights from what I have understood from the clients and also what we have researched ourselves. One is that how is the consumer behavior changing in the last, I will say, in the last 6 years? Okay, I'll divide it into three phases for simplicity. One is pre-COVID. I'm just keep putting this name for the sake only. I don't want to highlight the COVID phase again. I'm sure it's has been a very scary situation for all of us. But if we talk about the pre-COVID times, I think offline was dominating. Offline, people used to buy things offline, while online shopping was taking shape that time. It was not dominating, but it was taking shape. It was increasing. Okay. But then there comes the second phase, which is the COVID time and the post-COVID time. Okay, when we all know there came a wave of online shopping, everything became online. Many brands who were not at all present online, they also started their websites, launched their apps, and all those things have started to happen. So it was a complete online dominant phase. Now after that, offline has started to recover, is going to the original phase, and this at this point of time, 2023, we are actually seeing it's going to be a physical phase. Which when why I'm calling a physical phase, because physical is like offline and digital is like online. So it's a combination of online and offline, which is very much dominant at this point of time. People are not completely online, and not completely offline. Okay, like more than 50%, close to 54%, as per the InMobi reports, also says that they believe more in the hybrid kind of shopping and not just the online shopping, while 40% plus users still believe that online shopping is the preferred one for them. Okay, so for marketers, it becomes very important, and very important thing for them is to track their journey offline as well as online, and to build the attribution modeling. As a company, we have also built a attribution modeling where we can give the right credits to the different journey points to the consumers. Okay, so this is one insight. Second insight is that we have seen that the searches around professional painting services. Okay, people used to get their houses painted, but they were not very keen on perfection or all those things. Distemper karaya ho gaya. But this time they are actually very keen on professional painting services, and we have seen there's a huge jump in the searches around painting services, online painting services. And we have seen brands like, let's say, Urban Company is there, Berger Paint is there, Nerlac is there, Aditya Birla also launched their painting services category. Okay, so this, and in the next 5 years, it is expected that 5 to 6x jump in the demand is will be there in this industry. Okay, and the third thing is the health consciousness. Okay, while Diwali approaches, we used to buy chocolates, sweets, and all those things, but now people are health conscious. They are actually looking for low calorie products, sugar free sweets, no maida, zero maida, kind of things. Okay, so these things are in the trend. And the fourth, I have the entire list, but I'll just conclude it here. And the most important thing is that people are, you like in India, like consumers are very price sensitive. They prefer price, but I think in the last couple of years, one thing that has changed is that they believe that quality matters too, and they are okay to pay 20 to 30% higher price if they are getting better quality products. So this is something that becomes a changing behavior of the consumers in India at this point of time, in my opinion.
Very interesting, Amitek. I think this sort of reflects the changing consumer preference along with their disposable income, right?
Yeah.
Thankfully, India is moving and the India's economy is moving the right path, which means, a lot of people not only care about healthy food, for example, but can also sort of are willing to pay a premium for that. Amitek, as per our reports, I mean, almost in lines with what you said, right? These are the top categories that India plans to buy this festive season. Clothing, of course, is right at the very top, like I said. Home improvement, mobile phones is again a big one. Two-wheelers has finally picked up. We all know post COVID, two-wheelers sales were impacted, but I think it's coming back now. And like you said, Amitek, high value categories, right? Like jewelry. And we all know how jewelry in India is connected with sort of our festivities. So that naturally comes, as part of our survey as well. Okay, moving on. Amitek, the next thing I wanted to ask you is, if I am a marketeer today, and I know a lot of marketers have joined us today, or many business owners, right? How does one navigate this festive purchasing landscape? Like, okay, it's good, people are buying these stuff or they have intention to buy, but will they buy my product? How do I reach them? Is digital important? What are your views on that?
Actually, yes, I think digital is becoming more important, and I think with time, digital will be having the major share, I believe. One thing as a marketer of any brand, what the things that they should keep in mind is that in the festivals, in the festive time, be it the quality, features, or whatever it is, okay, the dominant factor that is going to play the role in order to get the customers is going to be the discounts. And discounts and offers are going to be dominant one. And along with that, a couple of other things that you should also keep in mind are like how if any customer is visiting your website, or let's say if he or she is visiting your offline store, okay, how smooth is your service? Okay, how smoothly you are greeting them? Okay, that becomes very important. That also becomes one of the important factor to decide whether I should buy it or not. After sales service is another important one. And next is people have started to give value to the brands. Okay. They are now moving away from buying the local brands products, and now they're preferring the branded products because they also feel valued and all those things. So this becomes important. And another thing is they should clearly like mention the features, their specifications, their USPs, why they are the differentiators in the market against the competitors. Okay, and keeping the competitive price becomes very important, and not just on one domain, that is maybe website or something, but all across, be it the website, your app, your offline store, your marketplace. Okay, we have seen a lot of disconnects and a lot of drops in the sales when there is a changing prices when user go to the marketplace versus they come to the website. Okay, so it's very important that they keep the pricing same all across. Okay, so this is another factor that is going to play the role.
Got it. Got it. Very interesting, Amitek. And I know, we are a price conscious market, and hence, discounting sort of works. Also, what businesses I realize is that even with discounts, because of the volume sales you get, net you make money. At the end of the day, business got to make
Absolutely, you
margin,
will grow. Yeah.
right?
In absolute terms,
Yeah.
you will grow.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly, you were bang on. Our report suggests that almost 60% of decisions are made basis the discounts and the offers. Brand over time has become also important. Gone are those days when people would buy things only for utility. Today, the aesthetics of it, the look and feel of it, or the taste of it, and essentially basically the brand of it matters. Features and specifications, especially I think for the electronics category, are important. And a big one which we have seen actually is recommendations from your known tools. It is, as we call it, called social curation, right? That even if uh, I like a product, can I quickly do a sense check with my friends or family members or acquaintances or my loved one? And all this is driven by social media, right? Because I would have been exposed to a particular product on a social media, and then I would have probably liked it. And then on my social media, I would have checked, have people I know like this product, etc., etc. So this recommendation, this whole social graph that I think ShareChat and Moj enable is a very, very strong one. Um,
On top of it, sorry, Gaurav,
yeah, go
interrupting.
ahead.
On top of it, just one thing that is a add extension to recommendation is the reviews part. That is also becoming very important actually.
Yes.
So getting
Yeah.
reviews from the customers and getting it updated across your platforms is very important. One thing that I've also seen couple of brands doing very wrong is that they are writing that it is 4.5 rating, but they are writing it as a fake one. So all their products in some of the websites I can see 100 products having 4.5 rating, 4.5 rating, 4.5 rating. Okay.
Yeah.
So you should be
I
very genuine and very true. Like you should write the actual ratings of these products, and better you focus on the quality, not just the reviews. So
I
this,
agree. I couldn't agree more, Amitek, because today's consumer is smart, right? And internet and social media have taken away all the walls that once existed between a brand and a consumer. If I like the product, I will not only review it 5 star, but I will also write a positive comment. If I don't like it, I will do it the same way. So no point in, I think authentic business is the most powerful business in today's world. Amitik, what we also found in our research is that one is your own purchase for your own self consumption, but Indians also love to gift during festive, right? And again, clothing, mobile phone, and jewelry come out as the three top categories of things that people end up purchasing for not their own consumption, but for gifting purposes, which broadly again aligns with the earlier slide that we spoke about. Okay, thanks, Amitai. Moving on. Amitai, given your experience in this industry for 11 years, And you said you've worked with 300 plus clients across verticals, I'm sure. What is your advice to marketeers to capitalize on this festive season, to get in more money, to get in more business, to improve their brand? What do you think?
I think I would like to start with one statement and then I'll share my couple of advice. Follow the trend of what your competitors or what your aspirational competitors are doing. Don't do anything very new or very unique in the festival time. It can be both riskier. It can work for you, but it can be equally riskier for you. Okay, so for example, I think you should follow the trend. Let's say in the marketing side, and if specifically digital side, if I think mostly people are spending on, let's say, Meta, Google, like it's a YouTube, and if you talk about the short videos, people are spending a lot on share chat as well. Okay, I think you should keep the mix of the spend similar to what they are doing. You should experiment if you would like to experiment something, experiment with some small budgets, but don't do a lot of changes in the strategies of the media spend mix. Okay, follow this trend. This is going to work for you. Second is that in the last, I think 2 years or 3 years, we have seen the WhatsApp as a funnel growing really big. Okay, and it is delivering better conversion rates than the websites and the apps as well. Okay, we have ourselves also witnessed in our clients actually, where we have seen more like 30 to 40% better conversion rates compared to the other funnels. Okay, and because of the availability of catalog optimization, the proper signals optimizations, and also the payment option available on WhatsApp. Actually, you can actually curate a very beautiful strategy and the chatbot. You can train your chatbot, okay, and you can spend quite big on WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is going to play a critical role for you this year. Okay, I think if you're not doing, you should do it. Then, I think we discussed earlier, discounts, offers, mix, product specifications, these things are going to be important for you. You should communicate properly to the audience. You should not be, your communication should not be confusing. Okay, it should be very clear with what you're selling to them. Okay. Then I think after sales service, like I mentioned earlier, is going to become important. Then the regional creators, or I will say end-to-end vernacular, especially focused for tier 2 and tier 3 cities, are going to play an important role. You should not do the half-baked service, like your creative is saying in regional language while your website is saying in English or Hindi. Okay. Try to be as much as possible in terms of communication. Then I think a couple of metrics, I think as a marketer and especially the e-commerce brand that should they should actually monitor these festivals is like, I think one is the LTV by CAC, that is lifetime value by the customer acquisition cost ratio. This is very important metric for you. Another metric is the new versus repeat. I think it should not be the case that you are only tapping the repeat customers. You're not bringing any new customers this festival. So you should always keep a watch on the new versus repeat. Then proper offer analytics should play for you for the net ROAS actually. You should also, like, for example, if you have 10 offers planned, you should know that which of the offer is actually giving is going to give you the net ROAS positive or better ROAS actually. So accordingly, you're prepared for better offers for the next time. Okay. Then also customers coming with offer versus customers coming without offer, how their LTV is changing. So these are some of the advanced metrics along with the regular metric that you keep on check. So these metrics, I think you can keep in mind. Keep in
Awesome.
mind. What?
Awesome. Very sharp insights, Amitek. I think the two things that I'm clearly taking away is one, tier 2 and tier 3 approach. A firm belief that your consumers are no longer in tier 1. In fact, the growth in tier 2 is just fantastic across categories. How are you approaching them in vernacular, regional? Is your ad creative in Kannada, in Telugu, in Bhojpuri, in Rajasthan, Hindi, Bengali? And the second thing I took away is how WhatsApp is important, right? we are by far WhatsApp's biggest country globally. Interesting thing I can tell you folks and Amitek is that there are millions of shares that happen from share chat to WhatsApp on a daily basis. Now, what you can do today is that you can ask us to monetize those WhatsApp shares, which means if you are, let's say, a tea company, we now have the ability to ensure that all good morning shares, for example, from share chat to WhatsApp, have a tea brand banner at the bottom of every such share. And imagine running such a advertising campaign for 15 days, 20 days, 30 days during festive. This actually becomes the only way in the world to advertise on WhatsApp. And I couldn't agree more. WhatsApp is very powerful in India, and ShareChat just enables you to monetize that. Uh, Key highlights again from our report remains clothing, home improvement, mobile phones. India loves brands now, like we were saying. A lot of them, more than a quarter of them, will consider brands as a key factor, and that is why upper funnel marketing, building your audience, not only jumping directly into performance campaigns, but doing upper funnel branding, middle funnel consideration, advertising spends are equally important because they eventually impact bottom funnel. I think a lot of mistakes that early digital marketers do is getting straight into lower funnel without building the brand. Now that will eventually lead to increase in your customer acquisition costs, etc., etc. Okay, moving on in interest of time. Okay, this is some of the highlights, right? We believe that about a quarter of all people will actually spend over 20,000 rupees this festive, which by the way is big number, right? The average selling price for a fashion e-commerce site in India is probably sub 1,000. So if you're talking about 20,000 of spend over a festive period of 40 to 50 days, this is a lot of money to be made for the marketeers. A lot of them, like we said, will look for discounts. And about 2/3 of them will use savings for these festive purchases, right? A lot of India out there actually saves to spend during this festive. And what it means for marketeers who have joined today is that today's India, today's Bharat actually cares about better things. They are absolutely okay to upgrade their life, their lifestyle, their mobile phones, their home appliances, etc., etc. So strengthen your brand. Do those upper funnel marketing campaigns. Ensure that your product is good. You get the reviews. You get authentic reviews, like Amitek said. The second point is there is no shying about it. India is looking for discounts, and internet and social media has made it only easier for people to hunt for bargains, which means it becomes a crucial component of your strategy. And lastly, like the previous slide said, making your brand is a crucial factor. So do go ahead and spend that money on building your brand and do not directly jump or take the easy way of a performance marketing campaign. Cannot stress, Amitek, your point about language first content. It is just not the internet of 2010 when people consume content in English and Hindi. Actually, at ShareChat, we are very proud to say that English is not even one of the language options because there are millions and millions of Indians who are actually most comfortable consuming content in their own language, and the marketers should take note of that, right? If your communication to your prospective audience is in that language, the chances of conversion are just way higher. Amitek, this is probably the last one. What do you think should be the planning checklist? I know we have spoken about a lot of things, but if you were to sort of summarize here for the folks who are attending this, what is sort of a checklist that you would share with them?
I think I'll categorize it. One is the media mix, like the media spends mix, actually, like I mentioned earlier. Follow the trend. Don't do too much of experiments because you will not have time to revert it back and again jump to the new experiments. So spend significantly on Meta, Google. And like you mentioned, Gaurav, which is very important point, like there should be a bucketing of the audience, like TUF, MUF, VUF. Okay. So strategize it properly based on the audience size in the different buckets you have. Okay. and you can have the personalized communications for them. So first is media mix. When I talk about it is going to be Meta, YouTube, Google searches, and it depends. Google search can be depending on whether how is your trend, the search trend is coming there, because there's a shopping option in PMAX as well. And as a new thing, you should try actually WhatsApp as a new funnel, which is a part of Meta only, but this funnel is a new funnel that you should experiment. Okay. Then the second part is the combination of branding and performance. We in our company call it as a performance branding actually. Okay. So branding and performing should run in parallel and not in silos. Okay. So it's very important to pick the branding channels as well as performance channels and try to connect them and identify the right metrics to monitor them and scale smartly. Okay, so this is in terms of like how you do the combination of branding and uh, performance. Third category of checklist is that how you are communicating with your consumers. Like for example, you are ensuring that there's a proper discounts, there's a proper offers being there. There's no mismatch of the prices. Okay. The third is smooth delivery and service and return policies are very clearly written. Okay. Uh, I think the last one I would like to say is that because with the emergence of the marketplaces, okay, it is important that you should give value to the marketplace, and there's importance of the marketplace along with the websites and apps as well. So do run spends on the marketplaces. So I think these are a couple of things I think one should follow.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, very insightful, Amitek. Um, I mean, more or less, what you said, we've just put this in sort of a slide form, right? So creating a festive campaign, of course, focusing on the product quality, um, showcasing the offers, unless you reach out, and that's why I think advertising becomes important. Um, Thirdly, it is also in today's age about the right targeting. And that's why I think digital and social media becomes very, very strong, right? Social media platforms of today have a lot of information about what do people like, not like, what is the sort of content you consume. In fact, when folks here download our festive report, they will notice uh, we share actually a lot of insights on these are the group of people who are planning to buy a two-wheeler in the next 2 months. So that is the level of insights we have, right? And that's why targeting becomes important, because it just increases your ROI. Having the right platform, of course, no brainer. All eyes and ears of today's youth are on their mobile phones, right? And thus having a mobile first approach and not a mobile also approach, I think is what is strongly suggested. Remember, mobile first, your users are there, so do build for them. Language first strategy. Today's audience, your buyers are no longer the English speaking audience of Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad only, but they're also people sitting and consuming content in vernacular language in tier 2 and tier 3 India. Lastly, influencer ecosystem has become very big. The youth of today is very comfortable um, communicating with a brand when it is very organic, when it is not pushed through like a traditional television ad is or was 20 years back, right? And hence do include an influencer strategy when you are trying to reach out to your consumers. And importantly, measuring the campaign impact is important. So, of course, what is the visibility? What is the reach? Were you able to, reach to the right audience at the right cost? So, both effectiveness and the efficacy of the campaign. Do check out for the engagement metrics. And I'm sure a lot of you already know these terms, click through rate, view through rates, what was the virality, quote unquote, how many shares, likes, comments. And then importantly, the performance, right? This is very mathematical sort of a metric saying if you put in 10 lakh rupees or a lakh rupees today, how much sales were you able to get, or how many website visits were you able to get, etc., etc. So this is sort of the quick checklist or the cheat sheet that folks can use. to utilize the most of Festive?